15 transfers, $25 million gone. This is the story of how artificial intelligence became the perfect weapon for corporate fraud and why your organization could be next. When Hong Kong police held their briefing on this case, Senior Superintendent Baron Chan delivered a line that should terrify every executive and finance professional on the planet. In the multi-person video conference, it turns out that everyone he saw was fake. Not a single person, not just the CFO, everyone, multiple participants, all generated by artificial intelligence, all moving and speaking in real time. The victim, a trained finance professional at Arup, a UK-based engineering firm with 18,000 staff worldwide, did exactly what they were supposed to do. They verified what they saw and heard. The problem, what they saw and heard was a lie so sophisticated that human instincts had no chance. The attack didn't start with deepfakes. It started the way most attacks do, with an email. The message appeared to come from company's chief financial officer based in the United Kingdom. The subject, a confidential financial transaction that required immediate attention, secret, time-sensitive, high stakes. And here's the thing, the finance worker was suspicious. They recognized the red flags. This looked like a phishing attempt. Their training kicked in. They questioned the legitimacy of the request. That skepticism should have been enough. It should have stopped the attack right there. But the attackers were ready for it. They had a counter move that most security awareness trainings never prepare anyone for. They invited the employee to a video call to talk it through face to face with witness. The video call was a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Three forces working in perfect synchronization. First, authority. The CFO, at least what appeared to be the CFO, was directing the operation. Executives carry weight. When they ask for something, employees are conditioned to comply. Questioning authority feels risky, especially when money and careers are on the line. Second, familiarity. This wasn't just the CFO. Other colleagues appeared too. Faces the employee recognized. Voices they had heard in dozens of real meetings. The brain uses pattern recognition as a shortcut. Familiar equals safe. Familiar equals legitimate. Third, consensus. In a multi-person meeting, social dynamics shift. If everyone else seems comfortable, you start to doubt your own doubts. The presence of witnesses creates a false sense of accountability. Surely, if this were fake, someone else would notice, right? Wrong. There was no one else. The entire meeting was synthetic, and the employee, overwhelmed by these layered signals, made the transfers. During and immediately after the call, the finance worker executed 15 separate transfers. Not one large payment, 15 smaller ones. This wasn't random. It was a deliberate, structured to avoid triggering automated fraud detection system that flagged usually large single transactions. The money flowed to 5 different Hong Kong bank accounts. The attackers had clearly prepared the infrastructure in advance. Accounts were ready, names registered, probably using stolen identities and falsified documents. The total loss, 200 million Hong Kong dollars. In US currency, that's $25.6 million. For context, this was one employee, one video call, one afternoon. No malware, no ransomware, no hacked servers. Just a conversation that never really happened. And $25 million were gone. The fraud only came to light when the employee did what good employees do. They followed up with headquarters, a routine check, a confirmation email, a question about the next steps. And that's when the entire illusion collapsed. No one at the headquarters knew anything about the transfer. The CFO had never made that request. There had been no meeting, no approvals, no authorization. Arup's incident response team moved quickly. They assessed the scope. Was this a broader breach? Were systems compromised? Was customer data at risk? The answer, remarkably, was no. This wasn't a traditional cyber attack. No firewalls were breached. No passwords were cracked. No databases were exfiltrated. Arupe's systems were completely untouched. This was something different. Rob Gregg, Arupe's chief information officer, would later call it technology-enhanced social engineering. The attackers didn't need to hack the network. They hacked the human. So how did the attackers pull this off? Hong Kong police forensics reveal the process, and it's simpler than you think. Step 1. Reconnaissance. The attackers harvested publicly available video and audio of Arupe's executives, speeches at conferences, webinars, interviews, YouTube videos, LinkedIn posts, anything with a clear voice sample and facial movements. This is open source intelligence, OSINT, at work. No hacking required, just careful research. Step 2. Deepfake generation. Using artificial intelligence softwares, the attackers trained models on this harvested footage. The AI learned the executives' facial features, speech patterns, mannerism, even the rhythm of their voices. Then, it generated synthetic version of digital puppets that could be controlled in real time. Step 3. The live performance. During the video call, the attackers operated these deepfakes like avatars in a video game. The AI handled the heavy lifting, facial synchronization, voice modulation, lip movement. The result was convincing enough to fool someone who had worked with these people for years. No Hollywood studio, no $1 million budget, just publicly available tools and stolen content. After the attack, Rob Gregg, Arupe's chief information officer, did something revealing. He decided to test the technology himself using free, open source, deepfake software, the kind anyone can download. Gregg attempted to create a real-time deepfake of himself. His goal wasn't perfection. He just wanted to see how hard it would be. 45 minutes. That's how long it took him to generate a passable deepfake. 45 minutes. Not days, not weeks. Less than an hour, with no prior experience. Now, Gregg's deepfake wasn't flawless, but it was good enough to raise a critical question. If a CIO with no training can do this in under an hour, what can organized criminal groups with resources and motivation accomplish? This technology isn't locked behind corporate firewalls or government labs. It's out there, accessible, evolving, and getting easier to use every single day. The Arupe case isn't an outlier. It's a signal, a preview of an epidemic already underway. Deepfake fraud attempts surged 3,000% in 2023. That's not a typo. 3,000% in North America alone. The growth rate hit 1,740% between 2022 and 2023. The volume of deepfake files circulating online exploded from roughly 500,000 in 2023 to 8 million in 2025, 16 times more in just 2 years. And the cost, Deloitte estimates that generative AI-enabled fraud losses while climbed from $12.3 billion in 2023 to $40 billion by 2027. That's more than triple in 4 years. Every finance department, every executive, every employee with access to payment system is now a potential target. This isn't a corporate security problem anymore. It's an existential business risk. Arupe's response to this attack offers critical lessons for every organization. Rob Gregg emphasized 3 priorities that guided their recovery. First, visibility. The moment the fraud was discovered, Arupe's team needed to know exactly what was compromised. Were clients affected? Was employee data exposed? Was this a single incident or part of a larger campaign? They had systems in place to answer these questions quickly. That visibility allowed them to contain the damage and communicate accurately with stakeholders. Second, rehearsed response. Arupe had practiced incident response protocols before this attack happened. Not for this specific scenario. You can't predict every attack vector, but for the general framework. Everyone knew their role. Legal, communications, IT, finance, all moving in coordination. That preparation saved time when every second mattered. Third, transparency. Greg made a deliberate choice to speak publicly about what happened, not to embarrass the organization, but to warn others, to raise awareness, to normalize the conversation about these threats. In his words, I hope our experience can help raise awareness of the increasing sophistication and evolving techniques of bad actors. Arup didn't let shame silence them, and neither should anyone else. So why did Arup's defense fail? Because they were designed for a different era, an era where seeing is believing still made sense. So how do you defend against an attack like this? Here's a playbook that works. First, out of band verification. Any high risk request, especially financial transfers, must be confirmed through a separate communication channel. If someone asks for a transfer via video call, verify it with a phone call to a known number, or a face-to-face conversation, or a secure internal messaging system. Never trust a single channel, no matter how convincing it looks. Second, multi-person approval workflow. No single employee should have unilateral authority to move large sums of money. Implement dual approval requirements. Add time delays between request and execution. Built in friction. Yes, it slows things down. That's the point. Speed is the enemy of security in high-stake transactions. Third, challenge response authentication. Establish shared secrets or code words with your executive team. If someone claims to be the CFO on a video call, ask a question only the real CFO would know, something not found in public records or social media. This isn't foolproof, but it adds a layer of verification that deepfakes can't easily fake. Fourth, continuous training and awareness drills. Run simulations. Test your employees with realistic scenarios. Make them practice recognizing deepfakes. Make them comfortable questioning authority when something feels wrong. Security awareness training need to evolve beyond phishing emails. Deepfake fraud is the new frontier. The Arup attack proved that seeing is no longer believing. Video calls are no longer proof. The question isn't whether your organization will be targeted. The question is whether you'll be ready when it happens. The criminals are already using this technology. The defense exists. The only question left is, will you implement them before it's too late? This was Decode the Hacks for you. If you like this video and want to be on top of such attacks to protect yourselves, please subscribe to Decode the Hacks YouTube channel. Thank you.